All right. Today, we're doing a deep technical dive on a brand new stock that's just hit the market, RenX Enterprises Corp. You know, whenever a company IPOs, the big question is always the same, isn't it? Is this the next big thing, or is it just a flash in the pan? Let's see what the charts have to say. And that really gets to the heart of the problem with any new stock. There's just no history, no track record to look at. So how do you tell if RenX is a golden opportunity or, a potential trap? Well, that's exactly what we're here to figure out by breaking down all the early technical signals. And right off the bat, we hit this massive contradiction. On one hand, the short-term picture looks really, really good, decidedly bullish, thanks to some serious recent buying. But on the other hand, the long-term outlook, it's a total mystery, a complete blank slate, simply because the stock is so new. That big unknown is the massive variable we're working with here. Okay, so let's start with the good news, right? What's actually driving all this short-term optimism? Let's unpack the evidence piece by piece, starting with some of the most important technical indicators out there. First up is the Relative Strength Index. You'll hear it called the RSI. Now, the absolute easiest way to think about this is like a speedometer for the stock. It's not just about price, but about the speed and change of the price. It helps us see if the buying or selling is getting a little too out of control. It's a fantastic tool for gauging momentum. So for RenX, the RSI is currently clocking in at 68.50. Now that's a really strong number. It tells us there's some powerful upward momentum. But, and this is a big but, it's getting very close to that 70 mark. In the trading world, that's usually considered overbought territory. It's kind of a warning light that the party might be getting a little too wild and the stock could be due for a cool down. And it's not just the RSI that's flashing green. Another hugely popular indicator, the MACD, has just confirmed what's called a bullish crossover. This is a classic textbook signal that the buyers are really taking control and that the upward momentum has some serious legs. Now, take a look at this chart. This is so important. That recent price jump isn't happening on low volume. The number of shares changing hands is way higher than the recent average. This tells us there's real conviction, real participation behind this move. It's not just a fluke, there's serious money pushing this thing higher. And the bullish signals just keep piling up. You've got other momentum indicators like the stochastic and the CCI, and they're both pointing up too. When you add it all together, it's like all the technicals are singing in perfect harmony. The message is crystal clear. The short-term trend is strong and it is pointing up. But after all that great news, we have to address the elephant in the room. The big unknown. This is the part of the story that really slams the brakes on all that short-term excitement. And the problem is a pretty significant one, especially if you're thinking about investing for more than just a few days or weeks. See all those NAs? That's the missing piece of the puzzle. Because RenX is so new, we can't calculate any of the key long-term trend indicators. I'm talking about the really important stuff, like the 50-day and 200-day moving averages. They just don't exist yet. We're essentially flying blind when it comes to the bigger picture. So, with strong signals for the short term but zero data for the long term, what can you actually do? Well, you focus on what you can see. And that brings us to our trading map, the key price levels you need to be watching right now. Okay, think of this as your battlefield guide. The stock is currently in a tug of war, right around that pivot point of $15.10. If the bulls win, they have to break through that first wall at the recent high of $15.75. After that, the next major ceiling is up at $16.50. Now, if the price starts to fall, look for it to find a safety net or support, first at $14.10 and then a bigger floor down around $13.50. These are the key battlegrounds for the next few days. So what does this all mean? Ultimately, we're left with a really fascinating dilemma. We've got a powerful short-term launch, no doubt about it, backed by strong momentum and heavy volume. But we have absolutely no idea how much fuel is in the tank for the long journey. So that leaves us with one final question. Is RenX a rocket with a limited fuel tank?